Hey everybody, Brian with you from the Game Continent. We're back doing our AI-only championship series. We are finally onto the knockout rounds, and we're going to be doing the reverse knockout rounds, where essentially we split the groups into, well, split all the civs that are remaining into two groups of 12. We're going to essentially do 200 turn lightning rounds, and then at the end of 200 turns, the bottom two places will get eliminated, and then we'll do that until we probably get to like 12 remaining, and then we'll merge the groups. We might end up shuffling the groups at some point. I don't know. I haven't quite figured out if I'm going to end up shuffling the groups back together, but let's take a quick look at our 24 remaining competitors. So we have Gandhi, we have Gorgo, we have Pedro, we have Eleanor of Aquitaine, France version, we have Mali, we have Lady Six Guy, we have Simón, we have Dido, Kristina, Japan, Mongolia, and Spain in groups 1, and then group 2 we have Basil, we got Ethiopia, Babylon, Eleanor, Aquitaine, but the English version, Wilhelmina, both Teddies actually, Norway, Aztec, France, this is the Magnificent France, Cyrus, and Peter. So, yeah, this second group is kind of a little top-heavy, too. I mean, you got two freaking Teddies to deal with. You have Hammurabi, which we've seen is overpowered. You have Peter there. You have Montezuma, oh my gosh, and then Byzantium as well, and even Ethiopia. Definitely a little top-heavy. So, anyways, how I got these two group stages is so after every group round, we ended up having two winners in both, like, the regular group rounds and then the second chance group rounds. So, essentially, I just split them up. So whoever was in first place went in one group, and then second place went into group B, and then with the next group, first place went into group B, and second place went into group A, and then just kind of alternated it all the way through. So basically, they might be playing against some of the civs they had in the group stages, but whoever got second place or first place in the group with them, they won't be playing against. They're in like separate groups. So that was like just the easiest way, and I was like, yeah, sure, that works. Other thing to note is I did finally get my mic fixed. So Windows updated last week and my mic was having some issues, and so some of the stuff I recorded might have been a little quiet, but everything should be back to normal now, so hopefully we're good there. So anyways, I got the first round loaded up. The only thing I am just now remembering is we did not do a 200 turn custom timer here, so let's go do 200. Went back to Fractal. Apocalypse, Dramatic, and Heroes are what we're going to use with. Secret Societies, I just don't think we're going to use again, just because I just don't want people to end up spending their faith on, I just think it's wasteful. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't know that it really adds much. The thing is, Apocalypse mode probably isn't going to come into play here with only 200 turns. And then the other thing is, I really don't see Dramatic Ages probably making that much of a difference either. This game's going to probably get a little laggy just because all of these civs, but, you know, as we eliminate more and more civs, it's going to be a lot quicker. Okay, yeah, let's make sure we do Deity, please. And I'm almost tempted to eliminate some of the city-states, but that might give someone a benefit, a bonus, because they have no one near them. So, all right, I think we're going to load in and let's see where we end up after that. Now you could argue maybe it would have been smarter to do 4 groups of 6 for, you know, pure load time slash, you know, I'm sure every one of these turns is going to take forever because you got to go through 12 civs, which ironically we say lightning fast rounds, but they're actually going to be pretty slow to get to 200. Probably still going to be 2 episodes here just because of, I imagine these are going to go kind of slow. This does not seem like, the funny thing is you look at the mini-map and you're like, that's not a lot of land, but it actually is quite a bit of land. So yeah, we're definitely a little laggy. So anyways, it should be okay though. Now what's funny is there's only 12 heroes. And I never really thought about this, but like the heroes are the one thing that doesn't scale. Like if you're playing a small map versus a huge map, really there's no benefit, or rather if you're playing against like 3 civs or against like 9 civs or 11 civs, like the heroes don't scale where everything else pretty much scales. So you ended up getting a relic from a goodie hut. Nice. But anyways, got Dido here on the northwest. It's kind of a Pangea, although there's 2 different continents. Next to them is Mayan. So we got 2 of the newer chicks fighting each other. We got Eleanor up here in the tundra. Then we got Gran Colombia south of her. We have Mongolia east of them. Then there's actually no one to the far east. Interesting. Gandhi smack dab in the middle. Right below Gran Colombia. Spain then is south of them, and Brazil is just northwest of them, with Japan then in the tundra to the far south over there. And then this little island over here, we have Gorgo, and we have Mali, and then Russia. Oh, no, actually, that's not Russia. Russia's in the other group. This is Sweden. So, dude, that's a lot of tundra. Oh my god, can we talk about how big this tundra is? This is actually a huge freaking island. Like, it looks tiny when you're used to playing on, like, standard-sized maps and you look at the mini-map, but that's actually pretty gigantic. Yeah, Yeah, so I'm kind of intrigued to see how this is going to work out with only 12. Like, are multiple civs going to end up with, like, multiple heroes, or is it going to be pretty spread out here? So Brazil's trying to go settle towards Spain. The only early aggression we could probably see here is with Gandhi and Gran Colombia. And, of course, Parker wants play. Mongolia also settled in that direction. What's rather interesting is Mongolia is a little weak right now. But I could ooh, Eleanor's going for the invasion. Dude, Mongolia is going to be in a really interesting spot here for an offensive expedition, depending on what ends up happening with these wars. So hopefully nothing ends up lagging. Hopefully there's no crashes. It looks like Eleanor Aquitaine is going to come win this. Maybe. Gran Colombia ended up responding fairly quickly. I'd have to say that's a little bit better of a response than we're used to seeing from the AI. So she's just going to suicide right into it. And theoretically, she can actually, yeah, she's going to be able to grab it then. Marseille is falling, but that will no longer happen whether she keeps it or burns it down. No, she ended up attacking? What did you do? All right, well, Eleanor just screwed herself. So she ended up attacking the unit instead of taking the city, which she could have done. Oh no, I don't think she has it now. No, she doesn't. And she's going to end up losing it because you don't have enough HP. So Eleanor no longer is going to be able to survive that war. Over here, we got Dido going up against Mayan. We're probably going to miss some of these wars, just FYI. How many religions pop out with a huge map? We actually can't see yet. Let's see. Doesn't actually tell us. Okay, we'll have to pop back and look here. I think Mayans are fine. They seem to be, if anything, pushing towards Dido. Brazil, no. Spain, no. Japan. Brazil actually declared war on Spain, or Japan. Interesting. Kind of the same situation we had over there with Eleanor. The downside, once again, is I think Japan has responded pretty quickly here. They do have the slinger, though, which the nice thing about the slinger is doing damage without actually taking damage themselves. They don't do a lot of damage, but, you know, it is kind of nice in this particular situation. I actually think, no, they're not going to be able to take it. They got one dude left. Okay, so we've had a couple failed wars already. Gandhi is right on Gran Colombia's butt. Gran Colombia is actually going for Marseille now, and is actually going to end up taking Marseille. So Eleanor of Aquitaine, our first Eleanor, is actually at risk of being the first one eliminated here. So chances are, I don't think we're going to see multiple civs killed. It's probably just going to be whoever ends up in the last two places. Irony right now is it's Philip and Genghis Khan, but like what's top to bottom, you're talking 30-point difference. It's a little early. It's only turned 28, which seems like a little slow, but yeah, we have 12 civs calculating right now. Mali, it currently has 4 cities, which I don't think anyone else is even close to 4 cities yet. And then Sweden's at 3. Mali's pretty well defended over there, so I don't think they're going to have a war. Spain, a little bit trapped in here, so we'll have to see what ends up happening there long term. Did we get our first crash? I think we got our first crash. Let's just be honest, this is going to happen multiple times. So we'll be back as soon as it uncrashes. So let's just be honest, because we're playing with 12 civs, we're going to get more than one crash. Like, this is going to happen, so let's not be too surprised by it. Luckily for you guys, I can just put a cut in the video, so it's not, like, really any big deal. For me, it's a little annoying. Oh, accidentally clicked on him. For me, it's a little annoying just because it's like, I got to spend, like, 5 minutes reloading the game and pulling back into it, but, you know, in the scheme of things, whatever. Bigger issue is, like, it just wastes time, and it's like, dang it, time is money. Well, not really, but apparently I'm going to be working every day next week, so like it's going to be a struggle to actually stay at top of all my videos so you guys don't miss anything. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Anyways, Mayan are pushing at Dido, but instead of going for KTY, they went from Tyre. Either way, it looks like they might be able to take it, mostly because Dido's entire military strength right now is in the Byrems. But by garrisoning the Byrem in there, it's now at 37 combat strength. That's going to be a little harder to take here, but they do have the archer. Like, this one by itself, as long as they just don't waste their melee units, unfortunately. They did, so whatever, we'll move on. Come on. Marseille did get end up conquered by Gran Colombia. Gran Colombia, we probably... they're at 205 right now. Genghis is at 413. It's just a matter of time before Genghis declares war. And in fact, I think he did declare war. No, he did not, but I think it's just a matter of time here. If he could get a particular hero like Beowulf and then like go to war, oh my god. We will check the heroes here in a second. I'm just kind of like bypassing. So you're still at 3. Mali is about to pop out to 5, which is interesting. 4 over here for Greece, and she actually looks like she's popping out some wonders. So I think Greece is going to be a-okay. Gandhi looks like he's in an okay spot here too. Spain I'm a little worried about just because they're a little trapped in, but we'll see. Japan is now pushing at Brazil. Remember, Brazil was the one that declared war, but Brazil does have a Nasai there, so that's going to be quite a bit of power. Gandhi's rolling with the elephants, so good time on that. And hey, guess what? It's a crash again. Oi, I immediately regret everything. Sigh. So I don't know if there's a better way to do this. Maybe not scrolling. I definitely maybe should have looked at doing smaller groups, but like it is what it is. And the thing is, like, we just need to like grind our way through like the first 12. And we'll have to do it twice, but then we get to like 10 groups after that and it should be fine. What's happening? Probably something related to the mod would be my assumption. I don't know if me like dragging and clicking is also kind of messing with it. Maybe, but we'll see. Heroes and grade people. I want to see heroes here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 discovered right now. Sweden got 1, Gran Colombia got Hercules, and Brazil got Anasai. So the Gran Colombia having Hercules is going to be good for potential aggression here. Lady 6 guy got Arthur, Genghis Khan got Sun. Oh, okay. Sun's going to be interesting. So we got basically Sun against Hercules, although they still have yet to declare war on each other. It just feels like it's a matter of time here. Milan got picked up by Milan got picked up by Philip. I was gonna say Milan got picked up by Milan, which clearly doesn't make sense. But all right, let's maybe click along. Excuse me. Let's like try not dragging and clicking quite as much. So Japan's starting to fall behind on their attack. That being said, I don't know if Brazil would keep pushing the offense or if they would go ahead and just peace out because they were losing there for a second. I'm not entirely sure what the AI would do in this situation. Tyre is still under threat, mostly because got a few archers over here for the Mayans. The melee troops, though, are a little on the weak side, and they have an archer inside it. So, I mean, honestly, if they just would have gone straight for KTY, they probably would have taken it. Because the Bairemes are single-handedly holding that city. So we got our first era. Anyone? Nope, everyone got a golden age. Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. All right, so Mongolia did now officially declare war. We'll keep an eye over here. So I would assume Eleanor is probably in last place. Yeah, Eleanor and Dido are currently at the bottom right now. Dido mostly because she got trapped in, I think. Yeah, I mean, she still doesn't get the 4th city yet, but I mean, we still got 150 turns. And quite frankly, the first like 50 turns are like, eh. Like, you could have just a terrible first 50 turns. Oh, interesting. So Ethiopia is still at war against Eleanor? But did we not see Mongolia shoot? I could have sworn we saw Mongolia. No, we did not. Okay, never mind. Himiko ended up, no one claimed you. The thing is, I think she's going to be fine. I mean, A, she's got Hippolyta. B, she's got quite a few archers right now. Hopefully Mongolia doesn't go to war against her. I would rather see, like, Mongolia kind of punished, but, you know, who knows? He's biding his time, which, to be honest, I'm all for. Yeah, we got to be careful about moving. I think that's what's crashing. I'm sure it has something to do with the mod as well. Like, it's just, like, too much for the game to handle. I wonder if you have like a supercomputer, if like that just fixes any of like potential crashes. I wonder how smooth it runs with like a supercomputer. Hopefully. Maybe someday. Maybe since I'm working all week, I can build myself a supercomputer. Not quite. Anyways, so Dido ended up losing Tyre. Interesting. Okay then. Yeah, Dido's gonna get completely knocked out here. Well, I had to admit, I thought Dido was one of the weaker civs coming into this, so I'm actually really surprised, though, and impressed here with Lady 6 guy. She does have a really good early unit. I always rate any civ that has an early unit pretty high, simply because it just, like, is extraordinarily more useful early on, just to, like, for early aggression. And, like, Dido, you know, if Mayan would have been in the sea, that maybe would have changed things. Is this an unfair map for Dido? I mean, sure, but, like, whatever. It's like, I mean, the thing is, she has full loyalty on any of these tiles here. So, like, she was never going to lose her city here. So, you know, in the scheme of things, there are benefits, there are drawbacks, but, like, we're never going to be perfectly balanced for everyone. She is losing Tyre, but I don't know that's going to happen. That's still kind of surprising. I'm wondering how she ended up losing Tyre. She had a few archers, but you had an archer in defense, and that city shouldn't have fallen. So, a little surprised by that for sure. All right, there's the Mongolian War. And if we looked at combat strength, you got 241 against 694. Yeah, that's kind of what we expected. He's got a lot of horsemen right now. I definitely am gotta give it to... Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine at this point that Mongolia is going to end up losing this. It also still appears that Gran Colombia is still fighting, Eleanor up there as well. So what's interesting here is he could take it depending on how smart he is with his units. He did take it. Okay, so smart is the question. Now, Maracaibo ended up grabbing walls pretty quickly, so that's going to be useful. I don't know Mongolia has the troops to get through it. Then again, it's only a 23 defense strength, but then again, he is building his first swordman, so we'll see. Now, ideally, what Mongolia would want to do here is go for Goya instead. Is that going to happen? No clue. No clue. Honestly, Mongolia should probably just peace out at this point. The thing is, Mongolia really doesn't even need a war. They're in a really good spot here, and they got a lot of stuff over to the east, like all this room. So, like, if they just would get aggressive with their settling, they wouldn't really have to worry too much about it. So Marseille is going to flip. Now, what's interesting about it is there might be a chance it flips back to France, actually. And remember, if it's loyalty towards... Is this France? Yeah, towards France. It might just straight flip to France. We'll have to keep an eye on this. Yeah, this might go straight back. I'm not entirely sure. So if it goes free city, then that means it's going to eventually flip to Gran Colombia, probably. So he is going for Maracaibo, whatever. I should be able to say this stuff because, I mean, it's all, like, Mexican, right? The language. Not that I'm good with Mexican. Spanish, not Mexican. I was like, it's not called Mexican, Brian. What is wrong with you? All right, so anyways, Mali is now fighting against Gorgo. Yeah, Spanish. Although, okay, I know like Spain and Mexico have different versions of Spanish. Would South America have a slightly different dialect of Spanish? The stuff down there that's Spanish? I don't know. It's actually an interesting question. So yeah, it is going to Gran Colombia again. And right now... Mongolia does not look like he can end up taking the walls. He does have a catapult, but right now his troops are a little bit far behind. Over here, she looks like, Dido does look like she's on her last stand, but we'll see if that ends up happening. Nothing flipped over here. Japan is still trying to settle up. I mean, they still got enough room, and they got the other islands, so I'm not super worried. So it looks like definitely Dido's going to be one of the losers. Yeah, it is kind of looking like Dido and Eleanor. Genghis is all the way at the third to the bottom? What? Genghis? Like, he even conquered a city. How the heck is Genghis way down there? So he must have, like, 0 wonders. His empire size, I imagine, is not that bad. Okay, I guess it is kind of bad. It's about half everyone else's size. Wonder why? Yeah, I wonder why. Because he has, what, 2, 4, 5 cities? Everyone else is rolling with 5 cities, so what's 2, 4, 6? Okay, I mean, maybe he's just a city down. 2, 4, 5? Maybe not. Not entirely sure. Really not entirely sure. Now, yeah, he probably does have some barbarian issues, but, I mean, he still has a lot of room over here. So the thing is, Mongolia had definitely the best position to begin with, I think. So, we just seen this recently, like, with this particular AI-only series, that whoever starts with, like, whoever gets a good start doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to end up surviving. Gorgo getting the twins right now is kind of important. Yeah, that might be able to help them survive. Although, like, right now, this is probably a dead war. Mostly because you got walls here, and you got a bunch of warriors. Like, it's just really nothing gonna happen at that point. You ended up getting walls, and Tyre ended up flipping, and is going back to Dido. That being said, you think Maya could end up grabbing a nook? No, because it's at 52 garrison defense strength. Because you put, who is this, Maui in there? Well, that's one way to hold on to a city, I suppose. Yeah, that's one way. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Spain, I think, is still friendly with everyone. Same thing. I don't know that Gandhi has really done anything yet. Now, Gandhi has a very interesting potential here. I'm just saying. Gandhi is very peaceful, but, you know, there is potential here. And ironically, Mongolia is actually starting to beat down the city. But crossbows just popped out, and that's going to make it quite difficult for them to end up taking Maracaibo. Maracaibo? Maracaibo. Should just be Maracaibo. Probably Kaibo, right? Maracaibo? Yeah, that probably makes more sense here. Yeah, warriors and archers against crossbows are just not going to be a good day. Yeah. Really, no. And Marseille is about to end up getting walls here, which is basically going to kind of lock that in. So Mongolia is going to have to go back and lick their wounds here if they're going to have any chance. Now, Sweden, in my opinion, is not in a great spot here. Are they? They surely are near the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, Spain is right there too. And in fact, Mongolia actually jumped up a little bit, which in my opinion makes sense. But I mean, this is not that big of a difference here. I mean, okay, so you got the bottom two and then there's a pretty big gap. But after that, like, I mean, other than like Gandhi and Mali here, you're talking basically what, 70 points here? That's not a lot. And really just 100 points between, you know, 10th and 1st, which... not a lot, but keep in mind, these are going to be closer games because we're only going to turn 200. So I think the goal is going to be to get to about 120 and then call this a episode. These definitely are going to be 2 parts. At first when I was like, oh man, we're doing 200 turns. This is going to be like 1 episode of Pop. Yeah, no. Now our thumbnails... I don't know, probably put all 12 pictures on there, and probably what's going to happen is I'm just going to put X's through the people that get eliminated, so just FYI, there might be spoilers. Do I want to do that, though? Because there's just going to be spoilers, then. I suppose there's already spoilers, but not really, and it's like usually like a couple episodes before you see... I mean, no, there really is no spoilers. You got like, what, 6 group stages before you see any of the spoilers, and even then it's kind of like... you kind of got to remember. So maybe I don't want to put X's through it just because I don't want like, hey, I'm a couple days behind, but then I saw your most recent video and I saw who got eliminated. So, you know, that's kind of, yeah, I think we're going to avoid the X's. We'll probably just use the same thumbnail that has all 12 civs in it then for simplistic sake, at least until we swap up the groups. And I do think we will swap up the groups. Let's see. If we do it twice, that's going to leave us with 8 in each group, which is going to leave us with 16. And we want to get down to 12, I think, again, right? So then at that point, I think when we get to 8, we'll swap out the groups. And then at that point, we'll probably just randomize the groups. Yeah, we'll probably just do a random generator at that point then and see where we end up. So Maracaibo ended up losing walls, but almost a little too late. And he's still doing damage, and he does have the catapult here. But like 5 crossbows in the general range, I cannot imagine him being able to grab this. This would be catastrophic to Gran Colombia. Catastrophically bad play by Gran Colombia, in fact, if they lost it, if they lost it. Interesting, Gran Colombia. I forgot we have dramatic age mode on. And the fun begins. All right, so interesting. Gran Colombia got a dark age. And wow, they ended up losing it. Like, so they ended up shooting for the catapult, which is a dumb idea instead of killing the melee units off. All right, so who ended up in where? So Mongolia, Lady Six Sky, Gorgo, and Gandhi are the golden eras. Everyone else got a dark era. Oh my goodness. So you're actually flipping to Gran Colombia. So Eleanor might just be dead here pretty quickly. Tyre is going to go back to her. Here's the thing. If 2 civs get eliminated, like let's say that she ends up losing her last city, and then let's say Dido ends up losing her last city, there's no reason to go to 200 turns at that point. So, you know, there is potential that these are going to be shorter. Osaka dropped from Japan and is now going over to Greece. Interesting. Or Brazil. Didn't Brazil get a Dark Age? Yeah, so what did Brazil lose? Oh, Bellum. And that one's going over the Mayans. Okay. And then Spain ended up losing Valladolid. Man, same freaking thing in our Spain series right now, and I can't pronounce it. But he's going to grab that one back, so not that big of a deal. Mali ended up losing Kangaba. And that one's actually going over to Corinth, to Greece. Interesting. And then Sweden get a golden age? Oh, no. Lost Orebro. Whatever. So, okay. Interesting. Now... here's the thing about Mongolia. They're about to pop out the Ordu. I assume this is probably the first Ordu. I assume so. Although, isn't the Ordu pop out in the encampment? So maybe not. Maybe it is. Does the encampment actually show the buildings here when you finish it? I actually don't know. Because, yeah, it's a cav building. point being, I was gonna say is if this is because there's the Ordu. So he got an Ordu last turn, so that's partly why he got Golden Era. But I was just wondering if he got the unique building, and he should be getting his unique unit this era as well. So I'm actually intrigued why you held on to that city and didn't burn it to the ground. Oh, you're actually flipping to, ooh, okay. So you're flipping over here to Gandhi. Gran Colombia is not looking too hot. They were absolutely dominating here, but they're gonna lose Marseille here in no time. Their other cities flipping over to India. And then they ended up losing Maracaibo. Maracaibo. At least that's what we're saying. Anyways, they also ended up losing Maracaibo then to war. So yeah, they went from being absolute dominant to uh-oh. So anyways, Porto Alegre, fine. Bellum is flipping in 5 turns. Osaka is flipping in 5 turns. Okay. And then the other one that was flipping to a enemy is you in 5 turns. And then Dido was getting tire back 7 turns. Okay. Are you guys still at war by chance? If we can see. Oh my god. No. No, they're peaced. They don't like each other. No one much likes her, but you know, they're at peace. Okay, Maracaibo ended up flipping. So now you're neutralized. But Marseille is definitely going to end up flipping now because you got the Dark Age. You got the free cities, and that's just a lot of pressure. Yeah, in fact, Paris is now flipping too. The bigger thing is this one's still going to India, so that's good. Because if this one wasn't flipping to India anymore, there could be potentially some issues here. Now, Maracaibo, I don't think that one's going to flip to you, because Marseille is going to flip here. Although, actually, you think that's going to put enough loyalty pressure to stop this from flipping? Nope. Nope. So, yeah, you're still going to India. Okay. And then, I don't know about Marseille, Grab. And it's interesting that you're flipping to Gran Colombia. I almost feel like that can't be true. That's weird, man. Especially since, like, he's got 1 city putting loyalty pressure on it, and it only has 8 compared to 12 here. Yeah, how are you going over to Gran Colombia? That can't be right. That's got to be a bug, right? Nantes is flipping over here to Gran... Because Gran Colombia is in the Dark Age. So how in God's name is Marseille flipping to them? I don't know. That one's confusing to me. Okay, so Kangaba is now belonging to Gorgo. They're currently peace. Once again, like, you really don't need your Civ to have a good game. This is why I like the knockout rounds or the reverse knockout rounds. It's because it doesn't require you to have a good game. To get top 2, you basically almost have to be guaranteed a really good game to win. Tokyo's going to get burned down by barbarians. Well then. Well then. Japan's still 100 points up, but Dido might have actually been able to pull this back then because of that. We'll see whether or not they can survive this war. Other thing to keep in mind is it's not as if the barbarians have gone away. They won't be able to burn down Kyoto, so that's good for them. But depending on Brazil here, I don't know. Dido's going to need another city, though. She's still pretty far behind, and right now Eleanor is just not in a good spot. Yeah, she's losing Paris. I don't know why I love saying it. There you go, Marseille's flipping to Mongolia. I'm just saying, I was like, how is that happening? There's no way. There's no way. So, you're flipping in 2 turns. You're flipping in 4 turns. Turns. This one might now go. No, I think it's got to stay. I think it's got to stay because the Golden Era. Like, what, 5 civilians here are only worth like 2.5 compared to like 14, essentially? I mean, I'm just kind of like, because isn't Golden Era like double? And then Dark Era is like half, right? Guayquil is actually just neutralized right now. What's everyone doing here right now? So Pedro's kicking butt and Gandhi's in 2nd place in science. Culturally, no one's really doing much. Simón's okay in culture. The only thing about culture that really is impactful, especially since Pericles is out of the game, I doubt anyone's going to be able to ninja out a super early culture game. So the only reason to even pay attention to culture is potential wonders. So, and I don't know that we're going to be able to see too many more. All right, when are we going to end this? 13 turns. So yeah, we'll wrap this episode up then when we get to the next era here, or the next thing. Guayaquil. So Marseille did flip and Maracaibo did flip as well to the respective civs. Paris is now full loyalty though. So hey, she's still alive. I mean, you got to give them credit here. They're all still alive here. Brazil trying to take, what? I've never seen you before. Who are you? Jinketa? International and domestic trade routes give +1 faith for every follower in the city of your founded majority religion. And he burned it down. I'm just saying he kind of needed it. Loyalty was going to definitely be bad here, but he kind of needed it to curve off Bellum here. And I honestly think he might have been able to hold it with proper use of his governors. But all right. So Dido's still at 2. Japan's at 3, and the barbarians have gotten knocked back. So, but that encampment's still sitting there, and Japan's about to put city number 4 down. So, once again, Japan doesn't need to have a good game. They just need to be better than Eleanor and Dido, which at this point isn't particularly difficult. And the funny thing about this, and how many times have we seen this happen in our AI only series? If this is like your first AI only series, this is something that we've seen many times. But with dramatic ages, it's been less. It has occurred less, I suppose. Is a civ goes to war, declares war on a neighbor early game, ends up losing that war, and then ends up getting pushed back, and then ends up getting completely crapped on because of it. And keep in mind, like, they just got absolutely destroyed. So, like, this is basically Eleanor's fault. And then I don't know who declared this war originally. That's interesting. How the heck did you spawn right there? Like, that's 2 tiles away from both cities. Yeah, I feel like there should have been vision on that one. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap the episode up here. I think we're probably good enough to, like, I think next episode, like, I'm trying to split these halfway. So we get one in one episode, one in the other. I don't really know the timing, how long it's going to take. So next episode might be really long or a little shorter. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, comment, let me know what you think. As always, hit the subscribe button, join the game, comment, share your support. Next episode, we shall see whether or not Dido and Eleanor can come back, whether or not Japan and Kristina can hold on to where they're at, whether or not Spain can get out of their little corner, whether or not Mongolia can keep pushing the war. I don't know. We shall see tomorrow. Bye, everybody.